Okay guys, I am unbelievably excited about this new product that I'm now carrying at the store, and it is the hang on the back Tidal filter from Seachem. This hang on the back filter, based on everything that I've looked at and tested, is probably the best hang on the back filter in the market right now, and there's so many features. And I'll try to keep this video short, but it won't matter because every time I talk about the new feature, your mind's just gonna go, it's gonna blow up all over the place. So this is fresh out of the box right now. I just took it out. So let's get going with it. So when you first take it out of the box, okay, it comes in right away, okay? Like it comes basically put together. There's very little that you need to do to assemble this filter, but I'm gonna show you anyways, all these little nooks and crannies and all these little things. So it comes with the lid, okay? So you go ahead, you take the lid off. Comes with a pack of bio media, okay, which is awesome. Always handy to have some extra bio media. And I guess the first thing that I'm gonna talk about is to begin installing it, and then I'll get into the features and everything inside. So the first thing that you're gonna do is you're gonna take this little blue piece right here, okay? And you're going to insert it right here, like so, okay? Just like that. You just push it in, okay? Easy, snugs right in. And then you're gonna take this little screw piece right here, and you're gonna screw it in like this, okay? So just give me a second, bear with me. You just screw it in. All right, so what is this for, okay? This is for making sure that you've got the right space between your tank and the filter, because you don't want your filter sitting like this or whatever. So this adjusts it. A feature that I like right here is they put this little rubber O-ring to prevent any vibration onto the tank, to keep it nice and silent. So that was a nice touch, I think, that they put on there. Okay, so this piece here was already attached onto here. I had it off, okay? Now, the other part that you install, this is optional. I personally would install this piece because I like it. This piece here is to put your heater on, which I think is awesome. And the reason I think it's awesome because I don't like the heaters that come with those little suction cups, because they always end up failing after a while and they lose their suction. So you put this piece onto the side here, which I like because it makes it look nice and clean, nice and slick. So what you do is you take this piece off just like that, okay? And then you're going to slide it in here just like this, in this little slot. Boom, easy. Okay, and then you're gonna take this part and you're gonna push it back on. Okay, boom, done. Okay, so there you go. So imagine this is sitting in the tank. Boom, you can put your heater there. Love that feature. Okay, next thing we're gonna talk about is, I'm going to just put this on now. So when you put on, this is for the intake, these two pieces right here, 1, 2. So the one that you put in first, obviously, is the one that's not like with the intake bars. So you're going to take the part that is not the part that doesn't have these ridges. You're gonna put it right here, okay? Just like this, okay? Now, something that I didn't mention at the beginning of the video, Seachem teamed up with Sinca, and I'm probably not saying that right, but they're one of the best manufacturers of aquarium products probably in the industry. They make the best moldings, high quality stuff, and they are amazing. I sell their pumps. That's typically what I end up bringing into the store. So when they join forces, these two forces is like Batman and Robin, okay? It's like the amazing team to go ahead and make a really good high quality product. They obviously came together and they thought of everything. And you're gonna see why after this video. So then you just install this piece right here, okay? And then what's cool about this piece is it adjusts, okay? So you can have it whatever length that you want. You can have it down to here, you can have it up to here. So it's awesome. I personally, for me, I like when the intake is fairly close to the bottom. Some people like a little bit higher, but that's what I like. So I'm just gonna take off this piece here so I can continue to explain everything else. Okay, so next step is for me to explain the basket. So before I get into the basket, what happens sometimes in other hang on the backs is the basket ends up floating up when it's not serviced often enough, because the detritus and everything starts to build it, and then it becomes buoyant. This little slot right here, okay, all you do is slide it forward, boom, it's not gonna slide up. Another great feature. Like I said, they thought of everything. So you just pull that back, and then you're gonna pull out the basket, okay? What's nice about this basket is that it comes out very easily, comes with a sponge as well, okay? And here's another amazing feature that they thought of, okay? So I know a lot of you are like, oh man, I hate doing my filter because every time I take it out, you know, I gotta run to the sink and water's dripping all over the place and the wife is screaming at me or whatever's going on, or the husband's screaming at me because water's getting all over the floor. But what you do to fix that problem now is you have a little tray. So that's what these two little slots are for. And basically, if you get it on the right side, you just slide it on here. I'll show you guys when I bring it back up. And that's it. It sits in those two little slots, okay? And then you can just waltz on over to your sink. No spill. Dinner served like a little waitress or waiter. Boom, boom. Okay? And what's nice about it is while you're servicing it, okay, you can take this, pretend this is the table, okay? The table's there and it's there. So it's not dripping all over your countertop. You can pull out your media, do what you need to do, carry it back over the tank, pop it off, put it back in, okay? Boom, just like that. And then you slide this piece back forward so it doesn't float up. Okay, next feature, all right, is this little blue thing here right now. I'm gonna explain what that's for, okay? So basically, okay, there's a chamber in here that when things start to build up or the water's not flowing as properly as it needs to be, there's this little chamber in here that pushes this little thing up so it pops up, okay? That tells you you need to service your filter. Sometimes you forget, things get busy, but then this little thing here is going to tell you, boom, time to service your filter. I like that feature. I love that feature, especially for me as I've got a lot going on in the store and sometimes things pass me, but then when I look at the filter and this ends up popping up just like this, that means boom. The thing that I love about this is that there was other kinds of filters that would have a little LED light. So you'd have to put a battery in there and then the light would come on saying, oh, it's time to service your filter. Well, anytime you add anything electronic, it could fail, but they ended up making this, there's no electronic here. This all just works naturally. So it's never gonna fail. This will always work for the life of the filter. I love that feature rather, and I think it's amazing. Really glad they added that. They thought of everything. Okay, the other part of this filter, which is amazing. You have these two nozzles here, these two turn screws here. So what this does is that this adjusts the amount of water sucking in that you want to suck in, and it also adjusts the amount of water that returns back into the tank. So let's say you want a really big filter with lots of surface area for extra beneficial bacteria, but the tank's a little bit small and you want to cut down the flow. No problem. You can just turn the flow down. Let's say you don't want the intake to be as much because it's too much for whatever tank that you have. No problem. You can just turn it down. I have never seen that before where you can adjust the return and the intake at the same time. Amazing feature. Now, this is where we get into the meat and potatoes, all right? One of the features that I really like, that I love, is that a lot of hang on the back filters, all the propellers and the motor and the mechanisms are hanging in this part here. With this part, with this filter, this goes into the tank. So whenever there's a power outage, it will turn back on automatically because the pump is inside of the aquarium. So it doesn't need to ever be primed. If you're out of town, power goes out. If you're in bed, power goes out. You don't need to revive it or to pour water in to get it going again. You don't have to worry about it. Other filters have burnt out because nobody was there when the power came back on and they weren't able to prime it and put some water inside. So that is a huge filter. And I would imagine that all the other filters, hang on the back filters, are going to catch on to this idea and they're going to end up doing the same thing. The other part that's cool about this filter is that it doesn't just suck in from this part here, from the bottom of the intake, it also sucks in here as well, right? So you're getting both suctions, and I haven't seen that before. I'm trying to think if I mentioned that. If I did, I apologize for being redundant, but it's worth saying again because it's so amazing. So that's everything there. So for me, I would fill this up with port foam because you could put 30 ppi, 20 ppi, and that's really good surface area for bacteria to grow. Plus, It's a mechanical part of the filter as well, but you can customize it whatever way that you want to do it. So that is pretty much everything that I can think of when it comes to this filter. It has everything that you could possibly imagine. It's probably the only one that I'm going to carry here because I believe in carrying quality, because you may save at first when you buy something less expensive, but you save in the long run. And what I try to do is be a little bit more long-sighted when it comes to this hobby, and making sure that you guys have access to really good products. But either way, you don't get it from here, get it your hands on this somewhere else, wherever you're viewing this video, because these are really good filters. It's a bit of less of an inexpensive filter to add if you don't want to put a canister filter or something like this, or if you want a little more filtration or something to polish the water. This is a great way to go. So that is my video for today. Thank you for watching. Again, you guys are a bunch of bloody legends. Call me if you need anything. Reach out on Facebook. Give me a shout. Whatever you got to do. Peace and love.